you, beta. I'll tell you. I'll tell you at last. Okay, recording is started. Now, Tia, whose name is on top in the list? First name?
Satanya.
Tanya. Okay, Tanya Gupta, are you ready, beta?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So turn your video on. I am turning my video off. And now the screen is yours. Tanya, do one thing. Adjust
Yes,
your camera. Adjust your camera because only half face is there. Either you shift little backwards, or otherwise adjust your camera.
sir. It is
Okay, beta. Yes, it is visible.
okay, sir.
Hmm. Yeah, start presenting.
The name of the story is Bholi, and the writer is K. A. Abbas. This is a story about a young girl named Sulekha, but people used to call her Bholi because when she was of 10 months, she fell off from cot, damaging her head, and which made her a simpleton. This gave a chance to her friends to call her Bholi. Here, the word simpleton means Bholi only. Also, when she was of 2 years, uh, she was a victim of smallpox, which left her with a pock-marked face. At the age of 5, she started speaking, but she used to stammer. A time came when a primary school was opened in the village for girls. So the Tehsildar of the village asked Ramlal, Bholi's father, who was a Numbardar, to send his daughter to the village so that it will encourage other villagers also to send their daughters to school. On the very first day of school, Bholi was very afraid, but when she met her teacher, her teacher's behavior attract her a lot, and encourages her to attend the school regularly. After a few years, the village was converted into a small town, and also a wedding proposal came to Bholi. The proposal was of a widower who was lame but rich. So, Bholi and her parents accepted the proposal. But on the marriage day, when the groom saw her pockmarked face, he demanded for dowry, and which was 5,000 rupees. Ramlal could not afford that much money, so he asked him to do some to get less money. Uh, but the groom did not listen to him and asked for 5,000 rupees only. So Bholi could not. Then Bholi decided not to. Then Bholi refused the wedding, and she said that she will not marry in her life. She will only take care of her parents throughout the year, and she will teach the children in which she was studied. So, one idiom which can I relate with this chapter is beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. This is because here in the story we saw that Bholi's parents did not try to understand her feelings. Instead, they saw her as a burden. But her teacher encourages her, and which made her to speak on a wrong thing. Thank you.
Okay, beta. Good. Now, is there anybody in the class who wants to ask a question to Tanya? Anyone? Anushka? No questions? Okay. Tanya, do you want to ask a question to the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, beta. Go ahead.
It is a discussion question, and the question is dowry negotiation of the girl's dignity. Uh, do you think is this right?
Can you repeat the question, beta? Dowry?
Dowry's negotiations of the girl's dignity. Do you think it
Yes,
is
yes. Diaries, dowries, negotiations of the girl's dignity. Very good. Okay. So, are you keeping this question for the open discussion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would anyone want to speak something on it? It's a really, really important issue to be discussed. It's a good issue that should be considered, and you should all be able to understand and speak on it. Dowry negotiations on a girl's dignity. Have you understood the statement,
Yes,
class?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you all understood the meaning of the statement? Now speak about it.
Yes, sir.
It's a good question asked by Tania. It seems there's hardly anyone who wants to say anything, but I'll not spare you. I'll expect this question to be raised once again in the next class. Think about it, get prepared, and we shall discuss this again in the next class. Okay? So for now, I'm leaving it. Tanya, we shall have a discussion on this question in the next class. And
Okay,
there
sir.
you can share your views also. I'm giving everybody a little time to think about it, to ponder and speak, if they don't want to speak spontaneously. Okay? So they will have to ponder and speak later on. Okay? So now whose name is next? Tia?
Chestha.
Cheshta. Yes, beta, Cheshta. Turn your video on
Sir,
and be visible.
yes,
Okay, beta. Are you prepared?
yes, sir. Sir, I have prepared the PPT also. So, sir, may I present the screen?
Yes, yes, sure. Go ahead. All the best.
Om Shri Saram. The title of the story is The Necklace, and the author is Guy D. Mukherjee. So let's
Cheshta,
first know about
Cheshta, just a minute.
yes, sir.
Cheshta, just a minute. One
Yes, sir.
student has suggested one thing, and that suggestion is also right. If possible, put on your headphones. Then your voice will not echo. If possible.
Sir, but no, sir, I can't.
Okay, chalo. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So let's first know about the author. The Necklace is an 1884 short story by French writer Guy de Maupassant. It is known for its twist ending, which was a hallmark of de Maupasant's style. The story was first published on 17 February 1884 in French newspaper. So now the story starts. Mathilde Loiser lives in a flat with her husband who works at the club for the Minister of Education. Their lifestyle is luxurious, but they are not poor, merely simple. Mathilde, however, longs to be rich. She envies her friend Jenny, who has a large house and lots of jewelry. One day, her husband brings home an invitation to a ball. He thinks his wife will be excited to attend such a fancy party, but instead she is upset. She complains that she has nothing suitable to wear to such an extravagant occasion. Her husband agrees to give her 500 francs that he had been saving to buy a new outfit. The week of the party, Mathilde seems exist again. When her husband asks her wife, she says that she has nothing suitable to wear with her dress. He suggests that perhaps she could borrow from a friend Jenny for his year. Mathilde goes to Jana's house and brings out the sparkling diamond necklace to borrow. She and her husband attend the gala and have a fabulous time. Finally, they going home in the wee hours of the morning. When they arrive home, Mathilde realizes that the necklace is missing. When her husband goes out to search the street, but returns empty-handed. To stall for time, Mathilde writes to her friend that she broken the glass and having it repaired. In the meantime, they find another necklace with cost 36,000 francs. Her husband fortunately inherited 18,000 francs from his father, but they need to borrow the rest of the money. Finally, they have enough to purchase the replacement necklace, and Matilda gets it to Jen for 10 years. Matilda's life changes dramatically. She moved to a smaller apartment where she has to cook and clean for herself. She also does work on the side while her husband works multiple jobs to pay back all the money they borrowed. The 10 years. Matilda's life changes dramatically and Matilda has aged. One day, she sees Janet Forestier walking on the street. She decided to tell her the truth about the necklace. Journey is stunned by the Matilda's rough appearance. Matilda explains that it is indirectly because of Janet, since she lost the necklace she borrowed from her and had to wear a replacement necklace. Shocked Janet confesses that the necklace was fake and made of paste, was no more than 500 francs. Their story ends. Clearly, the lesson of the story is honesty is the best policy. If Matilda had been honest with her friend from the start, she would have learned the truth that the necklace was not real and made of fake. The main thing in the necklace are greed, vanity. Matilda Lawler, overwhelming desire to live a luxurious life, blinds her to the comfort she already possessed and ultimately leads to her losing what wealth and status she initially had. The part which I liked the most from the story was when Janet convinces to Matilda that the necklace was fake because it was a twisting ending of the story. So I liked that the most. Thank you.
Is that all, beta?
Sir, I have two questions to ask. They are
Okay, first stop sharing your screen. Okay. Now see, some 5, 6 or rather 7 students have posted on the chat box that there was problem with the clarity of your voice. Your presentation was well prepared. The slides were also perfectly suitable for the lesson. But the thing is, because you were not using a separate microphone or headphones, so there was an echo. There was a constant echo. And that's why the clarity of voice was not there. Many students have, you can check in the chat box that they were constantly writing. But fine, no problem. No problem. It happens. It may happen. Okay. As far as presentation is concerned, it was fine. Now you can do one thing. You can first wait for students to ask their questions. And if they don't have any question, then you can ask your 2 questions. Okay. Class, do you want to ask anything? It seems no one. Okay, Chesta, you ask your question.
Yes, sir. My first question is, why did Mrs. Loisel do the invitations faithfully? Option A, she had no jewelry to wear. Option B, she had not any beautiful dress to wear. Option C, she did not like parties. Option D, both A and B.
One student has, yes, one student has written, repeat the question, please. Beta, ask your question once again.
Yes, sir. Why did Mrs. Loisel do the invitation faithfully? Option A, she had no jewelry to wear. Option B, she had not any beautiful dress to wear. Option C, she did not like parties. Option D, both A and B.
Most of the students are writing option D. One has written option B and D both. One has written A and B. Remaining all have written D. Cheshta?
Yes, sir, correct. Now,
Maximum have written D.
yes, sir, it is correct.
Okay, beta.
Now, second question. One day, Mr. Larson received an invitation from option A, the Minister of Health, option B, the Minister of Home Affairs, option C, the Minister of Sea Affairs, option D, the Minister of Public Instructions.
You can write your answers in chat box. Srishti has written D, Romya D, Tia D, Sachi D, Soumya D. One has written B, rest all are writing D. Yes, Cheshta.
Yes, sir, option B is correct.
Very nice. So
Sir,
the students have given their correct answers. Yes, beta, Sneha.
sir, I have one doubt in a line.
You want to ask
Sir,
this to Cheshta, na?
yeah.
Yes, beta.
पेज नंबर कौन सा है हाँ 39 फर्स्ट लाइन ओनली आई वांट टू नो दैट born as if through an error of destiny, what this mean?
Yes.
That's a good
She
statement.
Yes, she thinks that she. Sir, may I speak in Hindi?
Try in English. If you want to take a little support of Hindi, you can.
Yes, sir. Mathilda Loiser thinks that she wants to born in a rich family, and she thinks that because of एक गलती हुई थी जिसकी वजह से वो गलत फैमिली में चली गई.
You need to tell this thing in a little different way. Okay? It's like this. Whose question was this?
Sneha.
Sneha. Sneha, see, she was born in a poor family, and it was because of an error of the destiny. This was the statement written by the narrator. Okay. Now the thing is, the kind of features she had, the kind of appearance she had, the way she looked, the way she lived, her own personal attitude and behavior and her appearance and everything suggests that she belongs to a rich family. See, every person has his own personality. Okay. So her personality suited being a rich person or born in a rich family. She looked like this. She behaved like this. She lived like this. Her attitude was like this. But because she was born in a poor family, she was married to a poor clerk, it appeared that she was born to live a lavish life and she is living a poor life. So it is just because of her destiny, and it was the error of the destiny. Understood?
Yes, sir. Okay.
It was the error of the destiny. It was her fortune that committed a mistake, and she was born in a poor, not very well-to-do family and married to a not very well-to-do person. But her dreams were very high. In the beginning, in the introductory part of the story, you will see that her dreams were very high. Her expectations in the life were very high. She wanted to do big things. She wanted to live like very prosperous people. Okay. And she appeared like that also. But all this has not happened to her. So somebody who looks like rich and is born in poor family, narrator says that it was an error of the destiny. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Tia. Who is next?
Ramya.
Yes, Romia. Turn your camera on. Beta, there is some problem. Your voice is not approaching and your video is also not visible. Try to speak something. If you can't, then I'll ask somebody else to present. We'll wait for you for some time. Romia's mic is mute, is it? No, no.
Sir, network issue है.
Yes.
Yes,
Romia, there is some problem. There's some problem. There may be low bandwidth. So let's do one thing. Let us ask somebody else to present first. And then after some time, you can try once again. Tia, whose name is after Romia?
Shramit.
Hmm?
Shramit.
Shramit. Come on, Shramit.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
This boy, my son, is always ready. Good, beta.
Om
So
Shri
go ahead. All
Sairam.
the best.
Om Shri Sairam. My lesson is the book that saved the earth. This is a story about of the future, and in the future, a historian tells about their past in 2040. In the museum, there was a historian. She was telling about that ago books were used everywhere, everywhere where to, why to, and then she says about a book has done something that you have never thought about. It has saved the earth. And she says about the invasion that really not happened. It was the time of 2040. There on the Mars, there was a king named Mighty Think Tank, Mighty Think Tank, and he was thinking of doing an invasion on the Earth. They called the people of Earth Earthlings, and they have sent a probe to the Earth to see what Earthlings are doing. Then there was 3 people in the probe. There was Sergeant of Lieutenant Iota and Captain Omega. So they have landed in the library. They told them that there is a storage of something So the mighty think tank says it must be a sandwich because there was 2 cover on it and neither there was pages. So he thought it was sandwiches. So he ordered Sergeant off to eat it. Then he ate it and they said this is not delicious. Then apprentice Noodle says that this the earthling says earthling used it for communication. So the mighty think tank says that it must be a hearing communication device or a communication sandwich. So he ordered them to listen it. Then they listened it, and then they said that uh, that we cannot hear anything. Earthling must have sharper ears, and they can hear very high or low frequency than us. Then the mighty think tank says we are the best. Then he orders them. Then Noodle says that they do not hear them, they see it. So mighty think tank orders them to to open it and see. Saw some pictures of the earthlings and some code inscriptions. So she says that there is some picture of earthlings and some code. Then mighty think tank says, from the chemistry department, the vitamins have been given to you, eat it. And this will increase your ability to think. So they eat it, and they started to read. They ate them and translate the code. Mistress Mary, quite contract. How does your garden grow? With cockle shells and silver bells and pretty maids all in the row. Things can say they have learned to grow everything from maids to dynamite. Must have very high level of equipment. Then he says to order another code. Then they say, hey Driddle, cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such a sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. The king was very shocked about it. He said that earthlings have reached the high level of civilization, and they have taught the animal space techniques. They must be launching an invasion on moon of 1,000,000,000 cows. Then he says to translate another quote. Humpty Dumpty. Then they say Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men do not able to. All the king horses and all the king's men cannot put Humpty Dumpty together again. And they showed the picture of Humpty Dumpty to the camera. When the think tank sees the picture, he was very shocked and afraid. He was very terrified that Earthlings had saw him, and they are coming to capture. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, means they have to capture me and fall my kingdom. Then he says to apprentice Noodle, to prepare a space capsule and go from far away from the Mars, and says everyone on the Mars should go elsewhere. Then they goes on the another solar system, and the invasion was cancelled. And the historian says after that we and Martians are good friends, and their new leader is Noodle, and he is very more smarter than the mighty think tank. We have taught them what is difference between sandwiches and books, and and says that this is how the book saved the earth. Thank you.
Okay, beta. Was it an interesting story? How many of you have understood this? Simply write I in the chat box. Those who understood the story. See, this was the benefit of the miscommunication, misunderstanding. All that has happened here has happened in a misunderstanding, misinterpretation, and this misinterpretation has led to save the earth from those who were planning to attack on us. Rather, they got afraid just by Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And the Humpty Dumpty's image that we have just by imagination somebody has created resembled the appearance of those Martians. Fine. Now we have little time left for one last presentation. Only 6 minutes are remaining. Who is next?
Shubham.
Shubham. Beta, can you finish in 6 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Go ahead. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Om Shri Sai Ram. Today, I'm here to present my presentation on the chapter The Book That Saved the Earth. Introduction to the chapter. The Book That Saved the Earth is a play of 25th of two scenes written by Claire Boyko. The time set of the play is 25th century. It is based on a science fiction story which tells us how a nursery rhyme book saved the Earth from the invasion of Martians, those who live on Mars. Short summary of the chapter. The great and mighty think tank, who was the ruler of the Mars and her two moons, saw himself as most knowledgeable person among the other Martians. He ordered the three agents, who were Captain Omega, Lieutenant Iota, and Sergeant Hoop, to go to the Earth and get information about the Earth so that they could put Earth under their rulership. In the second scene, the three agents were present in a library. They asked the great and mighty think tank to help them out as they didn't getting what are the peculiar items arranged in the library, which were in reality a book, which were in reality books. The great and mighty think tank saw himself as the most knowledgeable person, but he has incomplete knowledge. He saw books as sandwiches and ordered the three agents to eat it, and then he ordered the three agents to listen to it as they didn't get the anything by eating it. However, when they didn't get anything from them, on the suggestion of the Noodle, the great and mighty think tank ordered the three agents to open the books and see what is there. And also they order him also he ordered them to use the vitamins given by chemical department to increase their intelligence. After using the vitamins, when they opened the book, because of the half knowledge of the great and mighty think tank, they misunderstand the nursery rhymes as some sort of code. On solving the code, they become so frightened that the great and mighty think tank run away 500 million miles away from the Mars. This story simply tells us how half knowledge becomes so dangerous for anyone. Thank you.
Is that all?
Yes, sir.
Good. Then you have finished in 3 minutes only. Is this lesson in the syllabus or is it also deleted?
It's
Deleted.
deleted.
This lesson is deleted. The book
Yes,
that saved
yeah.
the earth. And
Yes,
somebody
sir.
was writing for necklace also that it is also deleted.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
So question of trust also.
Huh? Question of trust. That day I have shown you the syllabus, the newest syllabus uploaded by CBSE, which suggests how many lessons and how many topics of grammar have already been deleted. But because you have already prepared these lessons for the presentation in advance, so I wanted you to carry on with whatever you have prepared. For the examination point of view and for the explanation during the classes, we shall not explain these lessons. But for the sake of presentation, after all, it is a story. And if it is a story, there is no harm in presenting it.
Sir,
Okay,
necklace
because-
is not deleted.
No, someone has written, you were only writing, you were discussing in
No,
the chat
sir.
box.
No, sir. Sir, necklace is not deleted. Book that saved the earth, midnight visitor, and question of trust. These 3 chapters.
3 chapters in supplementary. And in that book
Yes,
also
sir.
there are 1 or 2 lessons.
5 chapters. 5 poems.
5 poems from that book.
Poems.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And so
Fine.
first flight.
First flight also. Okay, so when I explain, just keep on reminding me. Okay. Chalo, so for today, this much is enough, I think. First of all, Shubham, you can stop recording.